Business success lesson number 2. You cannot sell something that people do not want. All right, now there might be some exceptions to this. You might say insurance is one of those exceptions. There's some things that people kind of have to have just because of the way life is set up here in the modern world. But in general, you cannot sell someone to something who does not want what you have. Now, this seems incredibly obvious, but take a step back here. How many business owners or businesses have you heard talk about some new product that they're going to launch, or some new idea that they have, or maybe in sort of the the laptop lifestyle, it might be like what kind of a life I want to live from a lifestyle perspective. Now, I have no problem with any of these discussions, but I think sometimes, especially when we're thinking about how do I get people to buy more of whatever I sell, we get sidetracked from this very basic concept. People do not buy anything unless they want to buy it. And so, now, they will not necessarily buy it if they need it. They will not necessarily, if they don't know that they need it, right? They will, so for instance, like, I have services that could help lots of companies grow their business. But if they don't realize that it would help them to grow their business, they're not going to want my services, in which case I'm not going to sell them my services, okay? So it's the same for you. You could have the greatest product ever. You could have the most ingenious way to fulfill that product. All these things could be the case from your perspective. However, if the customer says, I do not want what you are offering, you do not have a business. That is the definition basically of a non-business, is offering to sell something that people do not want. So I think one of the skills then with this is, rather than, I do think creating great products is an excellent skill, okay? But you have to remember that when you're creating great products, you're not ultimately creating products that you think are great. You're creating products that your customers think are great. And if your customers think they're great, then you've got a business. So remember, in terms of if you want a very successful business, if you want a highly scalable business, a business that has real long-term growth potential, all those things, you've got to sell something that people want. Not just what you think would be profitable, not just what you think would be fun to do, something that people want. If you can find something that people want and do a good job of communicating with those people about what it is that you have, you can grow a very successful business.